Hi, my name is Roy Denton from Liverpool in the United Kingdom, and this video is for the assessment of my 3D printed arm. I'll just show it to the camera so that you can see the detail of it. As you can see, quality of the print. Okay. Show you the fingers and how it operates from the elbow action. I can demonstrate picking up a ball and throw it. So just a little bit to go through some of the print quality. As you can see on the camera there, we've got the tensioners, and I've modified these, which I'll go through later on. As you can see, they slide through there. There were no real issues with the print quality. All the holes and everything like that were in the right places for the cables to go through. The only probably bits of print that I wasn't too happy with were on the fingers, where there were some ridges on the fingers. It's maybe a bit difficult to see, but other than that, the print quality seemed to be quite good. This was the second print that I did, having made some adjustments to the printer setup for each of the components. So I'll show now the print forms. So this was the form for the cuff assembly. So obviously this was printed out flat and then formed around this. This section is made in PLA, as is this section, which was formed around this homemade form, which was made out of some welding wire, a tube of sticky tape and a tube of silicone. That made the form then that this section was made from. Because my printer isn't large enough to print this full arm section all in one piece, it was printed in two sections, glued together with a plastic glue, and then seam welded using the PLA filament and a soldering iron. So that is absolutely rigid. It was soldered along the joints on both sides, so it's absolutely rigid. Just go through some of the connectors on here. So the elbow connector, no matter what I did, the pins just were not long enough to go through and grip properly. They would come out eventually if it was put under a lot of pressure. So I decided to modify that and put nylon nuts with a stainless steel bolt, which is countersunk, and made these washers to suit, so that it encapsulates the nut and the bolt. And that's the same for the elbow joints and for the wrist joints. Obviously you can see here the pins are the original design from the Unlimbited Arm, and they fit really well, to be fair. They don't come out, they won't shake out, and there was a positive click when they were actually initially inserted, which is good. So I'll just show you the fingertips. As you can see on the hand, I've added some rubber grips. These have been glued and bonded onto the fingertips and onto the palm, and they're really to replicate the soft parts of the hand that will grip. I find that it was a lot easier to pick things up using these rather than just the smooth plastic. As far as the strength is concerned, there's been no issues. It's had quite a bit of use, and a lot of people playing with it and testing it, and I've had no issues with it. The elastics are dental bands, which seems to be the standard for these, and the tendons are made from braided nylon. This is a £40 breaking strain fly backing is what it actually is. So it's really quite thin but incredibly strong, and the knots have been tied and super glued to make sure that they don't come undone. Because it's braided fly and it's quite high quality, it's really smooth and it goes through all of the holes and channels really easily, and it doesn't stick, so that's quite good. One of the modifications I made to the original design was to put lock nuts on the adjustments. Again, this was really because it made it easier to adjust. I thought it was a good enhancement to the original design. The straps are only for demonstration purposes. There is a company locally to me that produces proper straps for prosthetics, and on a real arm, that is what I would use. These were just made just to try it for demonstration purposes. So the design is the Team Unlimited arm, with, as I've said, some modifications to it, and this is the second version that I printed out. First version, well, there was a bit of a learning curve on getting the print settings right, but this one has turned out a lot better. The printer that I use is a MakerBot Replicator dual head printer. It is not an original MakerBot, it's a Chinese copy, CTC. I did have some issues with the print quality originally. Main issue was getting the components to stick to the print bed. This was solved by using borosilicate glass plate with Kapton tape. The components for the arm are made from slightly different materials, so the arm and the cuff is made from PLA, and I chose to make the palm and the fingers from ABS. The purple parts for the pins, they were also made from PLA, as this could be warmed in hot water just to maybe open up some of the pins. The other challenges that I had with this were getting the print quality right, so I changed the software that I use from the standard MakerBot software to Simplify 3D printer software. This gave me a lot more flexibility over the print settings for the printer, and allowing me to set temperatures at different stages of the print, which made the printing a lot more successful. So that was probably a good choice. So that's about it. Obviously, like I say, this is for approval and assessment, so it'd be good to get your feedback. Thanks a lot.